Good morning. How are we? It is Thursday, the 25th of March. Hope you're all good. Can't believe it's 4 days till we start our outside sessions, Marlborough devices, to go alongside the live kickstart sessions we have as well from home. 10 minutes, 1 minute, 20 minute, 30 minute, all down based on you, where you're at, your movement. So, anyway, talking today about, and if you're coming in, say hi. If you're on replay, give me a replay. Let me know you're on replay, and any thoughts, any comments, put them in the comments. Now, talking today about essentially knowing what to do but not doing it. But at the same time, more specifically, like actually putting your environment in the right position potentially. And this kind of comes on from the last few days' talks about changing your environment a bit. Morning, Bronya. And when it comes to changing your environment, in terms of, okay, I've got the glass of water there, but I'm still not drinking it. I know I need to get to bed on time. Morning, Doreen. I know I need to get to bed on time, but I'm still not doing it. I know I need to get up and exercise, but I'm still just not doing it. Now, my first thing to say would be to go and do the first 2 steps that I discussed in the last 2 days, okay? That will get clear on your why and why you want to do it. Because just know and give yourself credit. Remember, by default, your brain is negative. By default, we are negative. Your brain will tell you that you're not good enough, you need to be better, you're falling behind, your life is passing away, right? Ever get those thoughts? You should be doing more. Like, your brain is designed to tell you that, so you do something. So see the positive in that, because if you didn't think that, why am I not doing it? It would mean you didn't even actually want to do it at all. So you've got to look for the positive number 1 in there, that you must want to do it, otherwise you wouldn't have said that. And give yourself credit for that. Now, firstly, we've got to consider that when we are tired, stressed, we fall to our lowest level of training, aka our subconscious takes over, and where we spend the majority of our time, in that subconscious mind, if you like. We're actually quite lazy, right? We don't actually do much thinking. We just fall to that habitual subconscious mind, and we just go about doing stuff. I get up, brush my teeth, do a bit of flossing, water. That's my habitual thing. But that's because I've spent a lot of conscious time around there. So where you spend your conscious time is going to overlap into where you spend your subconscious time. So the more you can put yourself around the environment of water is there, eventually you're going to start drinking it. The more often that water's there, the more you're going to start drinking it. The more often you set your alarm for 6:30 to do this workout, whether it's with us, with our tone and sculpt at 6:30 or whatever it is, a walk, the more likely you're actually going to eventually do it. And I remember back, it reminded me of a conversation I had with someone, this is like 2 years ago now, and she was struggling to get to sessions. And at the time, what she was doing was like, yeah, by the time I get up, get there, like, it's just a bit too much. So we did it in small steps, because people forget this. And with us opening back up, a lot of people are a bit nervous, right, of going somewhere again, having to. There was actually a message in the group the other day about, wow, I'm actually going to have to get dressed for our session. I sometimes just have my camera off on Zoom. I'm going to have to get dressed, shave, too much, and more so. So my point, though, here is people get very nervous, and rightly so. They don't know what to expect. Am I going to be like too unfit to do it? And the funny thing is, in our group, everyone's then saying the same thing, going, oh no, I'm going to be the unfit. It's almost like a competition. No, you'll be fitter than me. So, and the important part is just taking those small steps. So what we did with this individual in what I'm talking about here is she got up at a certain time, just got used to getting up at that certain time. She did a 1-minute workout from home at the time, just really simple thing, like 10 squats and a glass of water. So she got into the habit of doing something for her in the morning. Then it was the next step. Well, the next step, I'm going to go for a walk afterwards. Then the next step, I'm actually going to come to a session now. Because we forget things, like it's not just going to a session, it's getting changed, getting there, knowing where to go, all these things that get into our head, and we build things up sometimes. Now, when it comes to actually going back to it, it's taking small steps. The more you surround yourself in the conscious space with these things, like water putting aside. Morning, Debbie. Morning, Sue. Like Sue's mentioned before, actually, she's eating more vegetables now because she leaves vegetables out on the side. The more you are surrounded by things, the more likely you are to choose them things. And it's like you can use willpower for so long. Like, You can use willpower for so long if there's chocolate, cake, stuff like that out on the side. It will get you so far, and if your conscious space has been around other environment for long enough, your subconscious will allow you to kind of make a better choice, if you like, around that. It's a bit like when it comes down to like kids, nutrition, toddlers. Like we have like cakes in the house sometimes, stuff like that. But I won't leave it out on the side at 3:00 because they come home and the first thing they're going to see is a cake, and it's like an hour or so from dinner. And I'm thinking, or it's like 3:30, hour or so from dinner. And I'm thinking, right, that's just going to cause an issue if I just leave it there. Rather, I'll put it out of sight, and then I'll just get it out later. That, for me, is controlling the environment, so I don't have to, like... Well, they're going to have it, let's face it, because I just let them have what they see, essentially. They'll eat what they see. I could leave a fruit bowl in the middle, they'll go and eat that. If I leave a cake in the middle, they'll go and eat that. It just is what it is. If I get it out later, I reduce that choice. My point in here is our environment will eventually dictate what we do. And what we've got to look at here is, there's a saying that says you become the average of the 5 people you hang around with or spend your most time with. And what often people think is, oh, no, I need to ditch my friends then, because they all... And although who you hang around with does impact how much you eat, you've also got to consider that it's still our choice in what we do. And surrounding yourself with like-minded people in conscious times, and what I mean by that is where you spend a lot of your time, will also carry over to that subconscious time when you're back into your kind of routine and space, and you're a bit more like, yeah, actually, I'm going to have X, Y, Z instead. And I spoke about this before, about peer pressure, and as we open back up, and I know this is going off on a little bit, but people just want you to be happy, they want you to be part of something. So if you go somewhere and someone offers you something but you really don't want to have it, just say, oh, you know what, I really fancy a coffee right now, or I'm really thirsty, can you get me this? And people will be more than happy to get you something. They just want to get you something. It's just truth that giving you a cookie, cake is often seen as a nice thing to do, and it is. There's a time and a place for that. If you want to have it, make sure you enjoy it and don't beat yourself up for it. That's the key thing as well. But going back to your environment, going back to doing the things that we said we would do, your environment will dictate that. And ultimately, we've got to start one. This is my take homes from here. Start really, really small so you literally cannot fail. Like, just to have a glass of water right now as we speak. Here we go. That was done now. Have a glass of water. I only had a bit left. Have a glass of water as we speak now. Let me know once done in the comments. 2, consider that we fall to our lowest level of training, if you like, when we're tired and stressed. So we've got to manage our energy. Tiredness and stress will happen. It's not going anywhere. We either seek stress out or the stress will seek us out. We either seek challenges that result in maybe out of our comfort zone, but the results we want, or we just let the challenge find us. There's going to be something that stresses us out. And this is why it's important to actually think, great stuff, Bronya, water done. There you go, already, straight in. And the important thing here is to actually get started with that and know that there's going to be a challenge anyway, there's going to be a problem anyway. You might as well choose the problem, choose the challenge that provides you with the results you want. Because probably one of the biggest assumptions that we make sometimes is that we should be comfortable all the time. And it's interesting when you look into like psychology and research, there's an assumption, I guess, in society that we should feel comfortable in everything we do. But actually, discomfort is actually really important for us being grateful for things that we have in life. And discomfort is an important thing to help us grow as well, and to help us seek out new strategies to progress, because human beings love progressing, but without discomfort, we can't actually progress, which means we're dissatisfied, which means we create other problems. It's a vicious cycle. But to help you with this, what I would say is make a list of the people you already know that are where you want to be. Make a list of the people and just reach out to them, and maybe even spend more time with them, see what they actually do. How is their lifestyle different to yours? Just write that out. How's their lifestyle different to yours? If you could make one change and possibly influence a loved one around you, what would be different then? Because sometimes it's that peer pressure, they do this or you do this. What if you changed rather than waiting for them to change? If you just made little one swap to see how they responded. Because sometimes when we actually speak to them, they actually often go, oh yeah, I was thinking the same. But you're only going to know if you do it. And then where can I find more like-minded people who are on a similar journey than me? Like what we do. Like in the sessions, everyone is on the same mission. As you won't find a bodybuilder in the session. You won't find someone who's doing 20 Ironmans in a session. It's all geared to you, and it's important to, when you have that support network. Like last night, we had a great chat in a Q&A I did with the ladies who started in the early March kickstart, and just speaking about what it means to fall off the wagon and how actually I've shortened. I'd normally have just put all the weight I'd lost back on if X, Y, Z would have happened. Now I'm keeping it off. And how powerful that is, how exciting that is. Because remember, your brain will go into the default of negative mode. Your brain will go into default negative mode. Just remember that. It's what got us this far. You're falling behind. You're not doing enough. When you look at the actual facts, I fell off the wagon and failed. Actually, I got back on it so quickly. Wouldn't normally do that. And just remember, every day is day one. It's the only thing that exists today. Just do your best today. And if you say, yeah, but I struggle with snacking, binge eating, just ask the question, are you doing it right now? Are you doing it right now? No. So you are actually in control and you can do it. There's a time right now, and that's the only thing that exists. Future, anxiety, past, is just imagination. So right now, let's just focus on right now today. Let's grab that water. Let's get going for the day. So that was a ramble, but I hope you found that helpful. Any questions, let me know in the comments. And we shall go from there. We open back up Monday in person as well, outside Marlborough Devices, as well as live from home, so you can make it as personal or as convenient as you like. If you want more information, just post below or send me a message and I'll get you the details. Make it a great day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.